Hey, look at this. We're doing the thing. We are doing the thing. My name is Ryan Delaney. I am the sole proprietor here at August West Wellness. I am a licensed professional counselor looking to expand my reach in the world of mental health. And one of the ways that I think I could really do something about it is creating live content, creating some sort of projects, this and that and the other thing for this wonderful world of the internet that we have before us. Um, and I just can't really seem to get going in a lot of different ways. So one of the things that I was thinking was doing this, creating a weekly environment, a weekly kind of talk show, focusing on mental health and wellness. Uh, and kind of get my message out to the world like this. And then if I'm successful by doing this, then perhaps these live streams I can then clip out and create content for the other socials like Instagram and TikTok and things like that. Today is the test, is the title of this stream says, is test run. Right. This is really my first attempt at something like this. Um, not my first video I've ever created or posted. I've definitely done a few different things over the years, but never been able to develop the discipline to do something on a consistent basis, right? It's one of the things I think I'm working through right now um, in life is the idea of motivation versus discipline. Right, this idea that we can really sit around and wait for motivation to happen in a lot of ways, but it might never find us. However, discipline is something that we can develop, right? It is something that we can chase after. Um, so I feel if I could develop the discipline of doing something like this on a weekly basis, then I can create a community, I can create a drive, I can do something and connect with people and build this into something. Right. Um, right now, I don't have a mic. I don't have a light. I don't really have nothing. I don't really have segment. You know what I mean? I got nothing really planned out. Um, but I got to do something, right? That is really the big, I think, theme right now for me is doing something, right? um, it's an important thing, right? This is something, right? This is at least getting in front of the camera, publishing something on the internet, making myself vulnerable, dealing with some of the anxiety and nervousness that goes with creating this kind of content and putting yourself out there. Um, I don't know. Um, it's definitely nerve wracking. There's not even anybody here. I don't know if anybody's ever going to see this, but yet here I am, still very nervous. And I guess one of the things that I wanted to try to touch upon today was at least that um, one of the motivating factors for trying something like this is I keep watching all these documentaries on these different cults and these different cult leaders and all this stuff on Netflix right now. I'm into The Vow. Before that was The Love Has Won. Um, and you see these people with no real psych training, no real understanding of the brain and how to really help people through talk therapy, right? Somehow growing and amassing a full range of followers, a full range of people that are so devout and believe in it so much that they move there and spend all their money. I mean, it's crazy what these cults um, can do to somebody's psyche, right? So then I really think about somebody like myself that has the background, has the training, has the knowledge, and is generally a good person that really just wants to help the world. Um, if they can use these platforms to amass those kinds of followings and really that kind of reach, what can I do? Right? What kind of reach can I have if I'm able to stick with this kind of stuff and continue to find a way to really put myself out there, right? We shall do and see, right? Life is quite lifey in a lot of ways. Um, I don't know. I can't I just them cult leaders, man. It just amazes me what they're able to get away with. Their ability to attract followers, people that are willing to dedicate their lives and their talents and their services to pull it off. Um, it's pretty remarkable. Um, so So I don't know. So this is the start. 5:55. I don't know. This is the start. So we're gonna sit here live. What my plan is at 3 o'clock on Wednesdays, because Wednesdays are a light day. We might have to adjust things over the summer with my kids' schedule. But my hope is to come here on every Wednesday, continue to promote and share, and let people know I'm going to be here. Um, this can be a time of reflection. I think one of the things I always want to make sure we're focusing on um, is gratitude, right? Making sure we take moments to recognize the privileges and the awesomeness that our life does afford us. Um, there's a lot of luxuries I know that my life that for most people uh, in this world would be pretty wild, right? We have to make sure we remain humble and understand the comforts that our society and our culture brings us, um, especially with the state of the world, right? Especially with Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine. The world is on fire in a lot of areas. Um, huh, huh. Does that mean there's somebody here? Is that what that means? See, I have no idea what any of this does. We're having fun. Look, there's a participant button. All right, so it says participant one, me. Okay, so I guess I'm in my own live chat. That's good. Okay, I don't want. Can I just go away? Um, I guess one of the things that I also will continue to work to touch upon in this world, and one of the reasons why I want to do this live stream is I want to make the world a better place. You know, I want to help and continue to grow my practice. My end goal is I want to have the funds um, to showcase a residential treatment facility for at-risk youth. Um, I really want to be able to build a kind of facility and program that could be very helpful and very useful for them. Um, there's just not those kinds of resources out there, right? They just do not exist in today's world. Um, our youth are oftentimes continued to be sent to criminal college. Their mental health concerns, their traumas are all very much ignored and not dealt with. And it makes their functionality in our world damn near impossible. They barely get a goddamn chance. Um, so that's one of the things that I really want to continue to focus my time and energy on, um, is finding ways to get to that goal. Right. Right now, I'm really trying to find some sort of property, some sort of location to expand my outpatient practice so I can hire therapists to work underneath me. And then we could use the funds and take the success of that practice and use those to then invest in a treatment facility program, perhaps start with wellness camps, wellness retreats. There's a lot of areas for growth. There really is. Um, I just need to find the time, the discipline, the motivation to get out there and seize it. And for one reason or another, um, I really do feel like the discipline of something like this can really aid itself, can really help me get to that. Um, I've tried different writing blogs and different things over the last few years to try to scratch that creative itch and you know get the good work out there and spread the message of good mental health and really try to help people. And nothing's ever really stuck. I've never been able to develop a writing program where I'm updating a blog every week. I've not been able to pull something off like this before. Um, but we're trying something new. I think one of the reasons I'm so committed to doing this, even if there's nobody watching or ever going to see this, is one of the things that me and my therapist have been working on is embracing the discomfort, is really challenging myself to be vulnerable and to risk being vulnerable, right? And to stare vulnerability straight in the face. Um, and doing this, putting myself out there, letting people in. Um, it's not an easy thing, right? It's really not. Even today, leading up to this, I was sitting there like, ah, man, why am I going to do it? Nobody's going to see it. There's no point. This is going to waste my time. I was giving myself all those excuses, all those rationalizations on why I should just take a nap on my futon or get caught up on paperwork, right? Um, but parts theory, right? With my therapist, we've been really kind of, when those feelings arise, give it a voice. Let's talk to it. Let's see what it has to say. Um, and I really couldn't come up with a good reason to back out on this, right? We all know this is practice. We're leading to somewhere. I put it in the title that this is a test run, a pilot, as you will. Um, I'm not really promoting it or letting people know I'm doing anything yet until I get a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more organized, right? Um, it, uh, you know, um, it you know, um, I just got to keep trying. I know video logs are things that people do. I see my kid watches all kinds of content on YouTube where it's like, man, I could do that. I could do that. I have the knowledge and ability to do that. Right. I've long laughed about things saying, oh man, I am a living Instagram reel with my sing-songy behavior, my humor, my thrill and quench thirst for life and adventure. One of the things I've long thought about this kind of platform is really working hard to put the self-care on display, right? As a trained therapist, what does my mental wellness look like? How do I take care of my vessel? What am I working on, right? And knowing that with my own battle with my own ADHD, anxiety, and depression, and my own weight loss issues, right? There's a lot that I could be working on and getting better at, and then perhaps accountability, follow through, things like that. Again, that discipline. Those are the things I need to keep working on. I don't know. Perhaps trying to stick to my word and continue to do something like this on a weekly basis can really help me get to where I need to be. I don't know. We shall see. We've made it 14 minutes so far. I just feel like I've kind of been rambling. Have not really had anything enjoyable or funny or memorable to say as of yet. I kind of feel like I'm just kind of having a conversation with myself, um, but it's okay. This is the beginning. This is how we get started. This is how we get comfortable. We think of the different ideas and things we want to do. Um, I do think I have a Tibetan singing bowl over there. I do think I want to try to end our time together with a moment of silence, a 10 bell salute, um, honoring those that are struggling in this world and dealing with, let's be real, war, right? Um, There's a lot of pain and suffering in this world. So I think ending our time together and taking a moment to pause and pray and hope and wish the world comes to its senses in a lot of ways, I think will be a good way to spend the time. Um, I also think, like I said, um, gratitude. I think making sure we may perhaps open these sessions together um, with some moments of gratitude and self reflection, right? I think will be important. Um, so, start off with gratitude, introduction. We'll end it with the singing bowl. So, we have a beginning and end. Okay, look, we're figuring out the formatting of the show, right? We're figuring out the formatting of the show. Look at us, we're getting it figured out. See, it says one, and then it says participants. Nobody's there. Huh. I don't know. I guess it is what it is. Oh well. Um, okay, so we're getting a feel for this. Um, in terms of self care this week, um, it's been an interesting challenge. It has seems to be the week of cancellations. I've had 7 cancellations in the first 2 days of the week. That definitely makes it hard to kind of hit my targets in terms of sessions for the week. And, it happens. Life is a therapist, but it is always interesting when they cluster like that. That's for sure. So instead of getting upset and really being frustrated and annoyed by such turn of events, I've worked hard. I was at um, the Churchill Valley Greenway, um, right over there, the old country club, walking around. If you have not made it over to that spot, go check it out. It is the old cart paths of the golf course, and you can twist and turn and up and down and this and that, and kind of go all over the place. Um, it's a cool little park over there. Lots of trails back and forth, lots of ups and downs. I ended up you, there's two sides with the two bridges, and like where the old building was is the old empty parking lot. There's not too much over there, um, but I decided, oh, let's see what's over there. I went over there the other day. There's this great wall, all this amazing graffiti. Looks really cool. Um, so definitely was able to engage in self care with that, and I was before work, right, starting off the day strong, and then because of those cancellations, I ended up being able to take a walk around Total Creek yesterday. Just a beautiful day out. Today, not so much. Definitely not. It is pretty out there today. Um, a little harder to be as happy and joyous. Um, but hey, get it in when you can. Days like this is when I like to go walk in at Morovo Mall. Um, they open up the mall. I thought it was at 9, but I was there like the other day, like 8:30, and it was still open. So I'm not exactly sure what time they open it, but just wander around and do laps around the mall. It's a lot of fun. So that's one of the things that I've been really trying to do in terms of my own self care and managing my own mental health. Um, so you got to find things to talk about. See, I think that was my hesitation with trying to do this, because one of the reasons creating content hasn't worked for me is my life schedule is just involved with the kids and running here and there. So in terms of prepping and writing and getting like a script in order, and really trying to develop um, some sort of program just wasn't happening. So my thought was, hope was that doing something like this, hopefully eventually have people interact and ask good questions. Trying to treat this as an hour of wellness and mindfulness for people. Um, that I'd find things to talk about. That there would be things that would come up that I'd want to share or address, or I don't know, reflect on songs, music I've been listening to. I guess in terms of self care, in terms of healthy hobbies, um, going to the Sphere in June to see Dead Company. That's going to be interesting. I'm not totally excited about the idea of seeing shows at the Sphere. Is somebody that does not do good with heights and is very blind without his glasses. Um, I'm very interested to see how something like the Sphere in my body does. Um, we shall see. Okay, so 20 minutes in, I really wanted to at least hit 37 minutes. Again, this is a test run, continuing to try to find ways to get used to being in front of the camera, used to creating some sort of content to continue to work hard to get my message out there, to get um, I've been doing this private practice stuff for 4 years now. I've been able to maintain a pretty solid caseload while doing so. It's really given me the indication that my way of viewing the therapeutic lens and going about things um, is relatively successful, right? That I am doing something right to continue to have clients keep coming back and keep wanting to see me and work with me. Um, so, and knowing that, and also understanding that there is a whole slew of clients and people out there that will never get an opportunity to walk in my office and never get an opportunity to participate in one of my in person sessions. Finding a way to take this work elsewhere, to take it to the next level, I think is important. I think it is an important thing for our world. One of the biggest things I've always wanted to is to be the change I want to see in the world, right? To really work hard to make this world a better place. And taking what I do in this therapy room and finding a way to package it into something that the general public can consume at their leisure is incredible. I think it's an incredible idea. The idea of creating content in a video library that my clients can access to help them practice breathing exercises and go through different concepts and be reminded of different things that we're working on. um, I think it'd be a really awesome thing just from those two standpoints, right? Just to help some people, to help my own clients. I think developing the discipline and the courage to continue to do something like this on a weekly basis is going to be really good for me. um, so there's a lot of really good reasons to be doing this. I mean, and then the what if, right? The what if somehow, some way it takes off, right? Somehow, some way this becomes a thing, right? And then I can take that thing and run with it, right? Um, Somehow, I mean, there's a lot of people in this world that make a lot of money making content for the socials, right? What if somebody like me that wants to make that money not to line his own pockets, but to make the world a better place? I mean, I've long told my friends, man, if I get rich, you get rich, right? That it's going to be spreading the wealth, figuring out how to help people, continue to do good things with it. Um, I'm real excited to see where we go with it. Um, I mean, I'm stoked that I'm even here. I was actually scheduled to do this one last week, but my wife ended up being home sick. I ended up working from home. So it was like, you know what, easy rationalization, right? Easy, like, no, I don't need to do it. Nobody's gonna see it. It's not that big a deal. I can just wait. That whole shebang. Um, and even today, I was like, man, I'm kind of tired. I could take a nap. Like, there's no need for me to do this. Nobody's going to see it. It's a waste of an hour. There's a lot of better things I could be doing with my time. Right. I really felt that way. Um, but then it's like, no, that's not what me and my therapist have talked about. Right? As soon as my brain starts kicking up with those rationalizations and those problems, I need to challenge it. Right? I need to ask it, what's going on? Why is it so scared? Who's in charge, right? Current me is in charge. Adult me is in charge. Um, there's no need to be spooked, scared, worried. Um, the internet isn't going to hurt me. I grew up on the internet, prepared for nasty comments and trolls and all kinds of horribleness, right? Um, but if I can use this to find my voice and find my ability to share more with the public, I mean, that's awesome. I'm excited. It's one of the things that I'd love to do is give a TED talk, right? To give a TED talk on mental health and develop an assembly for schools to help them focus on mental health, right? Those are the things that I want to do and develop. Um, Maybe this is the way I do it. Maybe this is the way I work through those ideas and find that creative stretch. And, I think one of the things I'm also looking for is to find people to help bring that reality to life. Um, it takes a village. That is one thing that we've really learned in life is it really does take a village, right? You need a lot of people and a lot of hands on deck to make stuff happen, right? Those late night TV shows that you see, they have an amazing team of writers. There's a whole room of people coming up with material, lines, jokes, right? It's not just one person. I think to help fulfill my mission and my vision, I need to align myself with people. I need to find helpers and surround myself with good talent. Perhaps this is how I do that, right? I don't know. There just seems to be all kinds of possibilities by sitting here and having a chat. Um, I think one of the things I'm gonna have to do is make sure I got a fresh pop. I got to figure out the music. There's all kinds of copyright rules and shit like that. So I got to be careful with what kind of music I can play during these sessions. But it's just too quiet in here. It's just too quiet in here. I probably can find something to put on in the background that would work. There's not really other like stream controls I noticed. I mean, I can share my screen, square certain tabs. Okay. So if I had like a presentation, um, like a PowerPoint or something. Why is it? I don't want to share anything. That's weird. I don't. Can I just not share? Okay. Oh, okay. So it puts me in the corner there. Okay. So if I wanted to react to some sort of video, I could. Okay. So play it, pause it. Okay. Look at me. I'm figuring out how to react to videos. I'm going to stop sharing there. So lower grade is learning new things, right? So that way, if there's a chart or a picture, some sort of mental health concept that I want to put out there, um, I could do something like that. Okay, look, we're getting it figured out, moving in the right direction. Um, it's tough stuff, man. It's a tough thing. Trying to figure out how to get started, how to get moving, how to get that traction. Um, I think one of the things that I'm really recognizing that the vow has really kind of reminded me is my age. At age 37, I feel like I'm in that weird crossroads where I'm like, it's middle age, right? I'm not young anymore, but I'm not really old either. And, there's definitely a big part of me that felt that I'm not as far along in my career as I should be, that I should be doing more, that I should be more successful. right? And watching the Vow, right, with Nexium and Keith Raniere. One of the things that really showed me is they built Nexium in their 50s and 60s. You know, that wasn't something that they pulled off in their 20s. Nancy, the clinical director there, that really drove a lot of the science behind it all. Um, she was in private practice for 20 some years doing this, helping people, teaching people, working with people before she created Nexium and all of that. Um, so I think that's something to really keep in mind for me is as much as I talk about where I should be and where I want to be and all that, I got to remember I'm 37. My eldest child is 20, will be 21 this year. I've spent the last 20 years raising kids, right? That's where my time and energy has gone, and there's nothing better, more important than doing that and teaching the next generation and passing it on, right? It is a wonderful thing, but it's definitely a sacrifice. So, as much as I want to get on myself, or I should be farther along, why am I not doing this? Come on, man. I got to really realize that until they're older and I have more of freedom and less time restraints and demands placed on me by them. Some of these things aren't going to be quite where I want them to be. It is kind of a waiting game for them to get old enough to where I can do some of these things, right? And we're not that far away. Like, we're really not. My youngest is 8. She's already pulling away. There's already lots of instances where she's not um, really focused on things, not really worried about what's going on. Kind of not really needing to hang out, isn't as clingy as she once was in a lot of ways, right? So the process is already starting. She's going to hit double digits soon enough, and it's just going to continue. Where be an important figure of her life, but the time restraints just won't be there. I really will have more an ability to chase these dreams, right? So if I can just continue to find a way to lay some of that groundwork and some of that foundation now, I'm really excited. I really, really am. Um, who knows where my life is going to go um, if I can pull this off, right? If I can develop that discipline and be successful with a project like this and be good at it. I mean, again, there's a reason why my clients keep coming back. There's a reason why I work with people and they go away and we separate because of life and then they come back and they find me, right? There's a reason for these things. I connect with people in a way I don't know. I'm just entirely grateful for it, excited for it, and I hope that somehow what happens in this room can translate to this medium, and I can do good things with it. I do think trying to figure out things to talk about and having more of a focus and more structured is going to be important. I don't think this can be as loosey goosey as perhaps I wanted it to be. I do think I'm going to have to put some foresight into what I want to talk about. What topics do I want to broach? Maybe that's one of the reasons things I want. I don't know. Maybe that's where one of you guys. Maybe that's where you guys come into play. Maybe that's where I do need to work on some self promotion. Um, I mean, I can pull you guys. Like, hey, what topics would you really like me to visit and look at or discuss? What areas of mental health do you need some guidance or help in or want to know more about? Maybe that can be part of the self promotion tool um, to try to outline some of that to see. Okay. Well, it is 3:41. I don't have too much to do. I have working with a memorial foundation to get that started here in a little bit at 4:30. Um, Next session is until 5. I wanted to hit at least 37 minutes today with not really having much of an agenda or a plan. Just again, getting used to the stream, getting used to the settings, the tags, um, seeing the picture quality on the playback, the sound quality. I mean, it has a little mic thing there, so I hope I've been talking loud enough. Um, we're just going to keep learning from here, and then maybe if I get going with this on a consistent basis, even if nobody's watching, I'm just doing it. Maybe there's motivation to spend money on a mic. Maybe there's its motivation um, to buy a light and get the lighting right. I don't know. We'll have to see, right? Maybe this will be one of those funny clips in years to come when I'm famous, right? Now, since we are getting to this early 7-minute mark, and I do want to kind of retool and recharge from pulling this off, we did talk about, trying to develop that structure, right? We're going to start opening with some gratitude, right? Really work on the gratitude piece, right? And then we talked about how at the end, we want to end with a nice moment, a way to kind of zen and practice some of the deep breathing, right? And we talked about using um, my Tibetan singing bowl. So, in an effort of continuing to get comfortable with this process and seeing how things sound, um, give this a shot. So, one thing I want to share is this is what they call mood mat. I'm not exactly sure what they're for, but this is from Goose. Um, the all night shenanigans one. I don't know. Not exactly. I have to remember, but I have it sitting on that. I have a really small little bolt here. Again, I want to invest in bigger ones and better ones, but if you don't use them often enough, it's hard to motivate yourself. Um, and unfortunately, in a lot of my day-to-day practice in here, this doesn't really get used. I use it more to cleanse my own aura and chakras at the beginning and end of my day. But in order to close out today's session here, lower it down so you can see it. We're going to do, because I'm a big wrestling fan, what I like to do with this is what I call a 10 bell salute. So I'm going to hit it 10 times, and then we're going to sit and listen to it resonate. And then once it has faded completely, I will bid you guys adieu. And while I'm doing the salute, while we're listening to that resonation, take some deep breaths, really hear it, really focus on those senses, right? Really take this as a moment to kind of recharge for a second. Okay, here we go. Well, thank you for anybody that ever dares to watch this. If you somehow made it to the end, I really appreciate it. Comment, like, subscribe, give me the feedback. Let me know what I can improve, do better. Give me some topics, some things to talk about. But hey, at least I did the test run, and now we'll see if we'll be back here next week or not. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Peace.